So in this video, I'm about to talk to y'all about how school was a waste of time and how self-education should be the new norm in today's world, in today's modernized world. So see, man, look, I never understood school. I never got the whole gist of school. I never liked it. I never want to go. Um, well, I did understand school. It's just I didn't understand why we had to go. I didn't understand why that was the only primary source of education in America. When you have all these sources of education and knowledge from Bibles and from YouTube. You can learn just about anything on YouTube, bro. Just about anything. Like, most of this shit I learned is from YouTube or from the internet or just from motivational speakers, like, the famous ones. But I'm not gonna mention any names, but like y'all probably know who I'm talking about. But we can learn just about anything we want that we want to find out and to obtain some type of knowledge, from reading books, or just meditating or going within ourselves and finding the information that we so desperately want to seek out. Because when you're sitting in a classroom 7 hours a day, 5 days a week, tell me, what in the hell are you actually learning? What type of knowledge, what information are you obtaining? How are you being challenged? You see, I'm not trying to knock teachers, man. I feel like teachers, when they teach and they do their thing and whatnot, they just don't make you believe. They don't make you believe that what you're learning in the classroom is going to benefit you throughout your whole life, throughout your whole journey. You think algebra or calculus is going to help me become a better person, a better man? Yeah, sure, basic math, you get a calculator, you add and subtract, multiply, divide, all that bullshit. Like, it's simple. Like, basic math is whatever. I hated math. I could not do the whole algebra, the whole equation stuff, and the fraction. That's just a pain in the ass, man. I want to almost fail in math, but I didn't care, because I didn't bother to try. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I tried, but at the end of the day, I wasn't really trying. Because if I was really trying, I probably would have passed that class with an A. But that's another thing too. A lot of parents like to pressure their kids into getting all A's in class, in school. Oh, you need to get all perfect A's. You need to have perfect attendance and perfect this. Everything needs to be perfect. And it's like, no, not everything needs to be perfect. Because that's the thing. We're not perfect. We can't we can't all get on a roll or, be valedictorian when we graduate. It's just, that class is only for certain individuals who are probably going to bigger and better schools, bigger and better colleges, For me, I didn't give a fuck about getting all A's. I mean, at one point I did, but it wasn't really a necessity to get all A's. I wasn't obsessed with it like some kids are. But that's only because they were pressured into thinking, well, if I get all A's, my parents are going to be proud of me. My teachers are going to be proud of me. My chances are of getting into this major college is the chances of me getting into a bigger college just went up. It's funny how we take these man-made up tests, these quizzes, and us failing or passing the test decides on how we're going to succeed in our life or some type of shit, or like it all determines, like one passing grade determines whether or not we're going to be successful in life. Or if you fail, you're a failure. Or if you succeed, or you're going to be a huge success one day. Like, just this preconceived notion that we need to get all A's in order to be a success in life. And that cannot be more further than the truth, man. It cannot be more further from the truth. That's a bunch of bullshit. Honestly, it is. Because you're basically teaching the youth that grades matter over mental health, or school itself matters over your mental health and your spiritual health, just your health in general. And they don't teach you the foundations of what your health is and how you should take care of yourself. You see, they don't teach you about depression. They don't teach you about anxiety. They don't teach you about the things that you feel on a daily basis, and they don't bother to address it. But no, you're supposed to come to school every day depressed, having all this anxiety, and they expect you to fucking go into a classroom and learn how to do algebra, learn how to do fractions, or write this big essay about mumbo jumbo, A, B, and C, whatever the fuck. They expect you to just get all A's in every class. You gotta be perfect, or your grades to determine your what you call it, your GPA, whatever, grade point average, whatever the fuck, I don't know. But grades, man, do not determine whether or not you're gonna be a success in life or not. School itself does not decide if you are going to be a success or a failure. You yourself decide that, not the Board of Education. You get what I'm saying? You see, we tend to let the Board of Education, the government, school, these teachers lecture us into thinking that we should be this way, we should conform in a certain way, right? We have all this pressure, all this unnecessary pressure to be perfect, when in reality, most people who have failed in school, who have gotten all F's in school, they have gone on to do bigger and better things for their life. They have gone on to be successful actors, entrepreneurs, motivational speakers, and so forth. Like, the greatest authors in the world were not good in school. They were not. Me personally, I was average in school, but I didn't feel like school was a be all end all, because it wasn't. I knew my life had more value, more meaning than it did inside school. I have learned more about myself in the past 5 years. I graduated in 2014. I learned more about myself in 5 years than I did sitting in a classroom 7 hours a day, 5 days a week for 12 motherfucking years. Let that sink. I learned more about life and more about just anything. I mean, everything that I've learned in my life was not taught in school, was never taught in school. I mean, shit, they don't even teach you how to drive. They don't even teach you about how to save money. They don't teach you about taxes. They don't teach you about how to become an entrepreneur, how to invest in yourself. Invest in a stock market. No, they want you to graduate, go to college, get a fucking degree, and go work for somebody else. But you get more money in the process. Money ain't got nothing to do with your happiness. It don't. It's all a cycle. It's all a fucking cycle, man. You go to school when you're like 4 or 5 years old. You sit in a classroom, learn a bunch of history, which is his story, man-made. But we question or not whether this stuff that we're being taught, all this history, is even real. Did it really happen? It's being shoved down our throats every time. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Social studies, history, all that stuff was being shoved down our fucking throats. Like, they weren't teaching us real science. They weren't teaching us real chemistry, you know? They weren't teaching us anything meaningful, anything that was going to make us believe or make us question our choices of life. Why do you think there's so many kids that go to school and they have this bad attitude? They hate being there. They give the teacher attitude, and you wonder why there's a cycle being manifested. You wonder why so many kids just hate going to school, because they can't stand learning this bullshit stuff that they're being taught. They know this stuff that I'm being taught is not going to do good for me in the long run. It's not going to help me grow. None of this stuff is going to help me become better. I'm not going to apply any of this so-called knowledge, information, education to my daily life. I can go on YouTube and learn about just about anything in this world. Anything. But no, they want us to go to school because by law, if we don't, our parents get arrested. They go to jail. And then we go through bullying, we go through harassment, we go through all these different emotions. I'll tell you right now, you would have hated me in school, because I was like one of the most antisocial people ever. I hated socializing with people. I was scared to talk to people. Like, I was literally the most quiet person ever, but I was also an observer too. I was going through a lot of mental health issues back then, a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety. I just didn't know who I was as a person. School did that to me. It made me question if I'm even good enough. It made me feel insignificant and inferior to other people, because I didn't see any greatness inside myself back then, because of the parasites, the negativity, the toxic energy that I was around 24/7. It was hard for me to escape it. You go to school, you deal with these teachers who are robots, these other kids who are robots. They don't know anything about themselves. I was the same way too, but at the same time, I was meant to stand out because I wasn't meant to have a lot of friends, or I didn't back then. I tried to fit in so much because I wanted to feel validated. I wanted to feel accepted. I wanted to feel like, I'm important too, just like all these other kids. But at the end of the day, they're all fighting for popularity, fake popularity. The school, you're trying to fight to be on top of the school totem pole. That shit don't matter. When you at the bottom of the school totem pole, you start really questioning your self-worth. Your value takes a hit because it's being dictated by other people who don't care about you to begin with. That's another thing too. It's fake friends. I had a lot of those in school, and I had to drop all of them. I had to get rid of them. But that pain of being lonely, it really hit hard, because I was really letting go. For the first time when I graduated, I felt so empty. I felt so, I felt lost. I didn't know who I was. Like, I didn't know which where to go. I was so directionless. Like, that's how school made me feel. That's why I resent the fuck out of school, because it in a way, it was a cursing. It was not a curse. Yeah, it was a blessing and a curse at the same time. The blessing was I fucking graduated. That was a blessing. I was blessed. I was able to graduate, but also at the same time, use that pain that was built up for so long and use it to better myself, better my circumstances, better my environment. Maybe not the environment too much, but really better myself from within. That pain that I use it to better myself. The curse was I had dealt with so much depression, anxiety, and so much mental health problems. Like, you couldn't not be around me, because I was not the most social person around. Like, I just wasn't. A lot of people didn't like me. A lot of people wanted to probably fight me most of the time. And I felt like I was just a complete loner. Like, I had nobody to back me up. I had no backup. I had hardly any real friends. And it was tough, man. Those 4 years were very tough. Very, very tough to get through. If you're in school right now, you're going through the same thing. You have a hard time making friends. You're dealing with a lot of parasites, toxic people. You will get through it. You have to get through it. Go to school, do what you got to do, graduate, and move the fuck on. And then you have the power to do whatever the fuck you want and be the person you want to be. Be who you want to be and not let anybody dictate where you should go in your life. Because their opinions don't matter. Teachers' opinions don't fucking matter. You go to school, you get a degree, and then you go to college. You get that diploma, right? Bachelor degree, doctorate degree, then you're fucking paying all these student loan. You're in debt because you paid for so much for these classes, for these majors, and now you're stuck in debt because you wanted that degree so bad to prove to your parents that you were going to be a success, but your parents really pressured you into it, or you decided to do it for yourself. Hey, I'm not hating. Props to you. But at the end of the day, you're getting a degree from college, and then you're moving on, you're graduating, and then you're going to go work for somebody else. Either way, you go to college, you don't. You're working 9 to 5, you're still working for somebody else. You're not working for yourself. You're helping somebody else's dream, not yours. You're making their goals happen, not for yourself. You understand? I hope you understand that, because when you're in that cycle, you're going to work for somebody else at the end of the day. That's the end goal. Sure, there's more money involved, but money does not amount to anything. It contributes, but it's not the end goal when it comes to your happiness. The whole point, man, is school is supposed to set you further and further apart from who you really are, from your higher self. That's what it does. The education system will never change. It will always remain the same. The teachers in these schools, hey, they get paid to do a job, and that's it. There's some teachers out there that truly, genuinely care, but for the most part, they're just there to get a check, and that's it. You know? There's so many robots, man. I believe self-education is the norm. Should be the new norm. Anything you want to learn, any information or knowledge you want to obtain, you can go within, bro, and look for that information. Whether it's meditation, whether it's going out in nature, sun gazing, whatever is your form of worship, whatever, or what you believe in, or what you believe will help you get further into life. Read a lot of books. Eat healthier. You know? Watch motivational videos. Watch people talk, listen to people talk about depression, anxiety, mental health. You learn so much about that type of stuff on podcasts, man. I have my own podcast right now. It's called Real Vibes on Anchor Podcast. Go look that up. I talk about anxiety. I talk about depression. All that stuff. But, yeah. I don't think you need school. I think school is a giant waste of time. It's not resourceful. It's not beneficial, And they don't teach you the things that you need to learn to grow, to progress, and to become that mastermind that you want to become. When I was in school, there was no opportunity for me to grow. There was no chance in hell that I was going to become better, because I was stuck for 4 years wearing a whack-ass uniform, eating this poisonous food that was not good for me at all. So that's what I want to come out here and talk to y'all about, man. You know, you want to learn more about yourself or learn more about whatever you're trying to do in your life, don't pay a couple $1,000s for that class in college. I say skip college. Go look it up online, YouTube, whatever. Or go to a mastermind class on the internet. You learn so much. There's so many resources, man, of education, of knowledge everywhere. You can go find it anywhere, man. That's all I'm saying, man. But yeah, man, I hope y'all doing well this week, and I want to kind of talk about this because this has been on my mind for a while, and I've been wanting to get this off my chest because for the longest time I was never a big fan of the education system or how the way things were run in these school systems. These school systems are meant for you to fail, meant for you to be stuck and lost. It's not for everybody, but it is for some people. Some people value school in this world. Some don't, and the ones who don't, the ones become entrepreneurs, the ones that become masterminds, the ones that change the world, the ones that build shit, that actually live meaningful lives. But that's all I want to say, man. But this is the Enlightening Black Sheep. Like, subscribe, and share this video. Comment below. Let me know how you feel. What's your opinion on this video, on this topic? And let me know how you feel, man. I'm out, man. Peace.